All right, so look, we're going to be working on our next project, and let me go ahead and share the screen here. All right, hold on one second. Okay. So, okay, everyone, so we are period, okay, period 4. All right, now you're going to notice in the beginning that I have put up just 3 image links, and I'll talk about this in a little while, what they're for. But let's go ahead and talk about our next assignment. And our next assignment is to come up with a design for our handbag, our shoulder bag, I should say. Now, the shoulder bag, before I go into describing or talking about, you know, what it entails here. Let me go back again here. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about, you know, what kind of designs you should look for to incorporate in your weaving for your shoulder bag. There's a front and a back, all right? And for review, let's go and take a look at what it is that we're doing, because, you know, we're coming back from a long break. So again, general, class notebook, navigation bar, content library, weaving. Now, down here you're going to see shoulder bag design with the same instructions that were on the assignment, and over here the shoulder bag weaving. Now, our shoulder bag is going to be something like this, and it's about the same size as a cereal box, so it's going to be probably a little bit smaller than the image here. So what we are going to do is we're going to think about a simple graphic design that we can put in the front and in the back, or we can weave in the front and weave in the back. Okay, and we're going to start off with you know, a sheet of paper, and that sheet of paper, see, when we look at these instructions, we're going to see that, let me move this over. Let me see, where is it? Right. We're going to see that what they did is that they actually, you know, drew a design on the actual cardboard loom. But because we're using like cereal boxes, and some of our looms are a little bit swervy or curvy, we're going to do it on a separate sheet of paper that then you can tape onto your cardboard loom. And it would go behind these warp strings. So think about this. You've done 3 inches of weaving around 360 on this loom. Some of you that did the weaving only on the front side, you know, you pretty much got a D- or an F, and you're going to need to start again. You need to do the project again because you actually have to weave around the piece. Make sure that you really pay attention that the number of warp strings that you have on one side is even, and then on the other side or on the back side should be odd, or vice versa. Doesn't matter. The point is that you should not have something, let's say, 23 warp strings on side A and 23 on side B. That cannot be. There has to be either 23 and then 24, or 23 and 22, something like that. But it cannot be the exact same numbers. All right? And you do not need to do the wooden dowel sticks that you see here on the image. Before we talk about the design, let's talk about the amount of space that you're going to have for the design. Okay? Right here you can see you're going to have 3 inches on the bottom. Then you're going to need to leave at least 3 inches on the top for just weaving, just for strength. And then I ask that you leave about 1.5 inches on the left and the right, so that you have enough warp strings on the left and right for strength of the bag. So your design is going to be in a small area in the middle. Students are to design on two sheets of paper a simple graphic design for the shoulder bag project. Now, I say two because there's a front and a back to your bag. Place the sheet of paper behind the warp strings of both sides of the bag. So for the height, right, you're going to see that you have 3 inches on the bottom and 3 inches on the top. This gives you about maybe 4 inches to work with in terms of height. In terms of height, about 4 inches. The reason is because the cereal box is not that big. Maybe your cereal box is about 11 inches high by 7 inches wide. So it's a little bit smaller than a sheet of paper, but it should be about the size of a sheet of paper. All right? So that gives you about 4 inches this way. The width is, you know, since it's about 7 inches, your cereal box that you use for the loom, and you take off about 1.5 and 1.5. So, you know, you're kind of working in the middle, something in terms of width, maybe about 5 inches. So what I did as a guide is I put down, hey, you know what? Work with something that's 4 inches high by 5 inches wide, that kind of square. But if you want to be more precise, go ahead and put that paper behind the warp strings and find out exactly, really, how much space you have. How much space you have. You must create 2 graphic designs that are different. One for the front, one for the back. So they've got to be different. You can't do the same design. All right. Use pencil in the beginning when you're drawing your design, and then drawing, you know, and then trace over your pencil drawing with a black marker. So some design ideas to image search on the internet.